Welcome back to Fantasy Now Plus, your place to get all of your waiver wire action. It is week 17, and it is championship weekend as we are near the end. This is it. This is the last week you have an opportunity to pick up any of these players to help your roster. Let's go ahead and get right into the show.
You're watching Priority Waivers only on Fantasy Now Plus.
Back again today. Josh, how are you doing, man?
Hi, guys. Am I clear? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah. It's great.
You're so loud.
On a Tuesday.
Can you fix your mic?
Can I fix it?
I don't think you're connected. I don't think you're connected. I don't think you're connected.
I am.
I don't know, man.
I'm connected.
But
maybe
hey,
I just have more energy on my own show.
So you come to my show with no energy? You come to my show in disrespect, my Monday show with no energy. But here you're like, hey guys, welcome to what's going on, peoples? It's good to be here on a Tuesday talking waivers. It's been a while. I lost my last appearance with Charlene. Charlene couldn't make it today for personal reasons. That's fine. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. What else is there?
Charlene did tell me right before the show today that she can't believe she's missing the final week in the last show, and then she's getting a little bit of FOMO for today. So, Charlene, we miss you. It's fine.
It's fine.
But we're here to help you win a championship today. Not Josh. Josh is in many championships today or this week, but the rest of us that are in the championship round, we're here to help you. Today I actually, instead of our normal-ish format, I have 3 players, 4 for a couple positions of players that you should be looking at. One, and we prioritize them, the ones that you want to pick up, the ones that you can pick up, and the ones that you might pick up to help you out. Before we get too much into the show, I do want to mention our fantasy awards are here. It is on our website right now, and I'm actually going to drop the link in the comments for you to go and submit that. What this is, we have a bunch of people for the fantasy season. Let's remember all the players that we drafted, all the players that we didn't draft, all the players that we definitely should not have drafted. Link is in the comments right now. Be sure to go to there. We want your opinions as well as we get through some of this. So go in there, cast your ballots for your people's choices for each of those categories.
And remember, folks, when you vote for Fantasy Analyst of the Year, remember who told you about Daniel Jones. Remember who was the top 3 ranker in week 13. Remember who told you Aaron Rodgers was going to be a Steeler when everyone was screaming Will Howard. Remember everything I got right. Forget everything I got wrong. Superstar Analyst of the Year. Cast your vote. I appreciate it. I'll be here to accept my award whenever that happens.
Remember who should be in the Scott Fish Bowl finals, even though he missed the cut.
I don't know because I would have started Kittle and Dowdle.
I did the math this morning. You got cut.
You don't know who I would have put in there and not put in there. You don't know. So let's not talk about the past.
You told me. Let's talk
about the future. We have Super Bowls. We have championships. We have finals on the line. We don't need to talk about my success in another tournament that does not apply to the rest of the viewers. So let's get into their needs because that's who we're here for. We're here to service our peoples. I'll talk about my success. So let's get them success. We could be talking Daniel Jones. I don't know. Could be.
Brian also said it. So, Jonathan, Alex, let's just get to your questions real quick. Survived the St. Brown, Jacobs, and Colby trap game. I'm really upset with Colby Parkinson. I really am. He got me cut in one league. Jacobs was injured. I didn't start Jacobs this week. I started Kenneth Gainwell in one.
Was Brian a part of our team? Was Brian a part of our team in June?
Yeah.
He didn't say it.
Came in May. Trevor versus Colts or Dak versus Washington. So, Alex, I will say that, but you are here today, so I'm going to answer this question. Tomorrow, we will have a start-sit showdown, and we will talk about a bunch of start-sits and answer all the start-sit questions from 12:30 to 1 o'clock specifically, we have our own segments from noon to 12:30. So definitely come tomorrow. Again, we'll answer all the questions you want, but I will answer this one. I'm going Trevor against the Colts.
Oh, I
31 points up against Denver, and then the Colts defense just allowed Brock Purdy to throw 5 touchdowns. I'm going Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, I don't hate that. It's hard to go against Dakota. It's hard, but
yeah.
Listen. It's your championship weekend. I kind of like to dance with the girl I brought or the player I brought. Trevor definitely get you there.
Trevor's QB1 in the playoffs right now.
I know, but he didn't get you there. I guess week 12.
It doesn't matter who got you there because Jonathan Taylor got me there in a lot of leagues, and he's getting like 10 points now, 8 points now.
I know. I'm taking Trevor too, but
I'm taking Trevor. We are going to talk about tight ends here in just a moment. And Jelly of the Mouth, Loveland, or Stream Strange, or Taysom. We're going to talk about tight ends here in a moment. So let's just get right into the show here. We're going to start with the quarterback position. First up, Tyler Shuck. Last 3 weeks, he's been QB8. Last week, he was QB16 with 17.1 points. He has been pretty good through the playoffs. A lot of people are actually starting to consider him to be Rookie of the Year, which is huge for Shuck in the Saints. He's going up against Tennessee in the 1 o'clock slot, who allowed the 8th most points to the quarterback position. I think this is a must add. He's only rostered in 15% of leagues. And you got to factor in there's only two teams playing now. So the chances of your opponent having Tyler Shuck and not you are very great. Josh, do you agree? Is Tyler Shuck a must add this week?
So it depends on your format, Superflex or, of course, 1 quarterback leagues. There's only 2 people left. There's only 2 teams left, assumingly, right? Some people might do a battle royale at the very end or a triple threat match or however you guys do it. But it's hard for me to go, you're really going to start Shuck. If you do, that means you have one of these quarterbacks who got hurt, like a Gardner Minshew, or you had Patrick Mahomes previously and you somehow avoided that disaster. Or maybe you had Baker Mayfield and he's just kind of S in the bed and you kind of just want to replace him. Or you have Jacoby Brissett and you're worried that 11.6 game will repeat itself. It's hard for me to say, yeah, you should pick him up and start him over the people that brought you there, heading back to our last conversation. Because in the end, if you're in the championship, I'd be curious to know, like, do you have Stafford? Are you going to start him over Stafford, Purdy, Lawrence, Burrow, Goff? Like, I don't see a situation where I can, and I don't see a situation where you could have made it this far and you have to start Shuck. But if you are, I can see it.
Get to the injuries this week. Here's the next thing. Talking about quarterbacks, we had Gardner Minshew go down. Not an ACL tear, just a knee injury. Will miss the rest of the season though. Josh Allen is dealing with a foot injury. He is considered dated. Lamar Jackson has a back injury. We don't know about Lamar. Jordan Love has a concussion and he has a short week on Saturday, so he might not play this week. JJ McCarthy has a right hand injury. He might not play this week. Marcus Mariota has an injury. He's most likely not going to play this week. Malik Willis has an injury. He might not play this week. So there's a lot of quarterbacks that are out. Maybe you're playing a guy who has a Lamar, a Josh Allen, Jordan Love, and you want to stop him from getting it. If you have bench spots, even if you have a quarterback, if you have open bench spots, I'm taking as many players away from my opponent as I can.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, why are you holding on? Unless it's a keeper league, like, why are you holding on to Tajay Spears? Why are you holding on to a player?
Let's not disparage Tajay Spears yet.
Okay, I'll give you another terrible player that was probably going to be talked about later. Like, why are you holding on to that second tight end? Why are you holding on? Like, if you roster a tight end that you know for sure is going to start, there's no longer a reason for you to carry that second tight end. And that just needs to be said. Last week in my own personal league, the person who I played against blocked me because I lost Daniel Jones. I lost players and he blocked me and it really hurt me. So blocking is an effective format that I would definitely use if it's available, but I wouldn't go crazy and say, oh, he has a great matchup. Let's start him over Caleb Williams. That's just not going to happen in my world.
And here's the thing. We're not even talking about start sits. We're literally just talking about players to get onto your roster to help you win. And sometimes blocking is winning. It helps you win. The next guy on the list here of players is Aaron Rodgers. Your guy, Mr. Aaron Rodgers, QB 14 over the last 3 weeks. He was QB where's my notes? 18 last week with 15.5 points. We're talking about, playoff Aaron Rodgers right now. This is a guy who the Pittsburgh Steelers have to continue winning games. Now they don't have DK Metcalf, so this ball is about to go to Scotty Miller and every other random wide receiver on the Steelers. Alan Lazard just got cut from the Jets, so maybe Alan Lazard is a Steeler by the end of the week. Adam Thielen, like all of these guys are about to start catching balls from Aaron Rodgers to get into the playoffs. They do play against Cleveland, who has allowed the third least amount of points to the QB position. So I'm a little weary about this one. Rostered in 31% of the leagues. He's likely out there. So this is somebody that is worth a look.
Worth a look.
He's worth a look.
He's also a landmine. He's someone that you want somebody to grab because he's probably not going to perform if DK Metcalf is out. I love Philip Rivers. I love Aaron Rodgers. I absolutely love the human being he is and the football player he is. And I would love to roster him. And honestly, if I was a set in stone championship material team, I've already done this. I've already picked up like Tom Brady and players that I want to get another ring. He's someone I would add, but never play just so we can get another championship under his belt. But let's be real though. Seriously, let's be for real. I don't see a situation where we can start somebody without his top player, especially with his mobility issues going against Cleveland. They have a player on the other side that majorly wants to break the single season sack record. Unless that was done, I turned off the TV when Judkins broke his leg. So unless that was done and I didn't hear it or see it, could be possible. Haven't turned on my TV today, or yesterday. I do not want to start Aaron Rodgers. I would roster him just for fun and to block again, but there's no situation where I'd like to start him this week. But he's definitely worth a look.
Nope. And the greatest thing about priority waivers, again, is that we are not talking about starting these players. We were talking about rostering these players.
I am new to the show and the concept. I am so sorry.
You were here the last 2 years we've done this, Josh, and you subbed in for me for 2 weeks.
When am I ever just to the point? When am I ever just to the agenda, to the point? When does that ever happen? You said, we're only going to give you 30 minutes today. I kind of like, sure.
That's why I remind you things, man. That's why I remind you. The next person on the list, Cam Ward. I will be curious about this. I know Josh loves Cam Ward also. Rostered in 10% of leagues. He has finished as QB 22 over the last 3 weeks, which is not great, but he's 14 over the last week, or he was 14 last week. 18 points last week, rostered in 9.5% of leagues. It's going up against New Orleans, who has not allowed a lot of points, the 7th least amount of points to the QB position. Worth a stash, if all else has failed, you miss out on Shuck, you miss out on Rodgers, you have Lamar Jackson, you have Marcus Mariota, Jaden Daniels, you have all of these quarterbacks that have been completely volatile this year, and now you have nobody. Maybe Cam Ward. Maybe.
I will say this.
He's the last quarterback worth picking up at this point, unless you really want to risk it with like Philip Rivers or somebody.
I will say this. Cam Ward, since Joe Burrow has been back, I used him as a benchmark because Joe Burrow is back and he's an elite quarterback that's going to knock some people out. He's not better than Joe Burrow. I'm just saying since Joe Burrow's been back, which is week 13, Cam Ward is the quarterback 25, apparently, allegedly. Is that real life? Let me see if I filtered that correctly. 25. That's crazy. Above players like Lamar Jackson, Jackson Dart, not many others. But again, he's been in the past 2 weeks usable. Usable. I wouldn't say startable, but again, this is not a start sit show. Definitely pick him up to block because he is somebody who's actually on the rise. So I like it.
And he has more rushing upside than the other two. I think he just has a lot more upside in general. I mean, he's of the 3 quarterbacks that we've talked about, he scored the most points last week against a very beaten up Kansas City team, but he's has nothing to play for other than, just proving that he can be a quarterback. So,
well, if he has a record to break, he might just tap out like a bowl game, like he did in the bowl game. I'm going to break the record, then just leave. He might do that.
Okay, so Josh is still salty about Miami. Okay. Let's talk about the running back positions where we've seen quite a bit of studs go down this week, including Quishon Judkins, who's out for the season with a leg injury. Trevion Henderson has a head injury. Status on him is unclear right now. Jordan Mason has a ankle injury. He did not practice in the theoretical practice last week. He has a short week this week. Speaking of Minnesota running backs, Aaron Jones Sr. was limited in yesterday's theoretical practice with an ankle injury. Also, Javonte Williams has a neck injury and was also limited in practice. Many of those guys have short weeks. Two of those guys were rising up and got injured. So we need to fill the void. And we talked about last couple of weeks how Blake Corum might actually be a league winner. Unreal. Absolutely real for a team that has Kyron Williams. He might be a league winner. Blake Corum. He has scored 5 touchdowns in the last 4 weeks, Josh. 4 weeks. He's getting double-digit points every week. It's unreal. Last 3 weeks, RB 11. 22 last week, only 13.1 points. He's rostered in 43.1% of leagues. He's averaging 17.4 the last 3 weeks. Has Atlanta on Monday Night Football. You talk about it a lot. You know, what's better than going to Monday Night Football with one player left and you're down 10?
Mm-hmm. It's fun.
It is fun. I had that experience last night. Wasn't fun for me, but it was fun for a while. 59 points between 2 players was really cool. Just needed 10 more. This could be an interesting one. Having Atlanta, you know, the Rams are still in the hunt for the playoff, like for the number 1 seed, not just the playoffs, but the number 1 seed. That entire division out in the NFC West is tough. Blake is getting a lot of red zone carries. He's getting a lot of the goal line work and getting those touchdowns, and that's very important for fantasy.
It's extremely, extremely important. And Blake Corum has been a revelation, scoring touchdowns, of course, in all these games in a row. If you're, you know, it's like, I understand he's a backup running back to Kyron, but if you look at his points per game since let's just go back to week 10 even, before the touchdowns started happening, he's averaging 10.8 fantasy points a game in that time frame, same as Breece Hall. Literally same as Breece Hall. And you're starting Breece Hall every week. I know you are. You were starting Quishon Judkins every week. I was 10.5 in that time frame per game. Zach Charbonnet 10.1. Like, he's been outperforming all of these players that you've been starting in your lineups. So if he's still out there, it's kind of silly that he is still out there. He's definitely probably the number 1 pickup for your team. I would assume this week.
Yeah, he should be. Because honestly, he's not even just he's somebody you slide right into your flex and go with it. I mean, truthfully, this is similar to like what we were saying with Kenneth Gainwell for a while. He's getting double-digit points. He's winning. Like the last 4 weeks, he's been absolutely killing it. So somebody that I would be definitely picking up. The Falcons are right in the middle of the field with the line points to the running back position, and you got 2 of them that can score. So it's tough. The next guy on the list is playing one of the easiest defenses in the league. They have the Cincinnati Bengals at 1 p.m., who has allowed the most points to the running back position. Michael Carter, last 3 weeks, has been RB 36. This is another one of those guys that I think we talked about this yesterday. Whoever you enter in the Cardinals backfield just scores. Maybe we talked about this last week. It's the Cardinals offense has been so weird that they've actually been like the players themselves have been doing really well for fantasy, but the team itself is not doing well and losing games. 6.5 points last week, only on 11 carries, but also Emari DeMarcado isn't really doing anything. James Conner's obviously hurt. Bam Knight's out for the season. Trey Benson's out for the season. So Michael Carter's de facto RB1. And I didn't really want to put him on this list because he hasn't been doing so well, but they have the Cincinnati Bengals, who have allowed the most points per game.
Warm body running backs, that's all you need, man. Especially now with all these injuries. Like, if you lost Judkins or you don't want to start Breece Hall, this is definitely an option for you. He's an easy grab for me. I would rate him under Corum, of course, but warm body at the running back position these days, rare to find. Past 3 weeks, he's only averaged 8.3 fantasy points per game, but guess what? So is David Montgomery. Breece Hall's less. So he's definitely someone that I don't understand why he's on any waiver wire at this point.
Exactly. Next guy on my list here is Tyjae Spears. He is worth a look. The last 3 weeks he has been RB23, which is a starting running back. Last week he was RB12 with 21.5 points. They're going up against New Orleans, who allows right in the middle of the field for running points for the running back position. Tyjae has been very good the last several weeks. The Titans offense honestly has been getting pretty good the last couple of weeks. And by very good, I mean he's been very average and he scored 21.5 points last week. Uh he's becoming more of that offense.
Yeah, he is becoming more of this offense, man. Like I can't believe he hasn't taken the approach over Tony Pollard. Like I can't believe it yet. It doesn't make
I
any
think he
sense
will
to
next
me.
year. I don't think Pollard will be there next year. Not as the starting running back at least. He's worth a look. I'm not rushing out to go get him, but he's definitely somebody that, you know, if you need a warm body, if you're really hurting for injuries, he's definitely somebody to go out there and get. Again, right in the middle of the field for New Orleans. They're on the upper half of allowing the most more points to the running back position. So, and the last guy on the list is on the list because by default somebody has to be the RB1 on a team, and Raheem Sanders is it. With Quinshon Judkins out for the season, Dylan Sampson still dealing with the injury, Jerome Ford dealing with the injury. Raheem Sanders is RB1 for the Cleveland Browns. Not somebody that I want to start this week, but he is RB1 for the Cleveland Browns. They're going up against Pittsburgh, and they have a stout defense, allowing only the the eighth least amount of points to the running back position.
You know what?
It may
You
be
know
you
what?
let your opponent get him, but RB1.
RB1 on a bad team that can't move the ball. Still a warm body. I was still starting Judkins out there, so I would treat it the same. It couldn't get worse. Like it could, if you were starting Judkins and you made it this far and you're happy with the 6.8 points he was giving you for the past 3 weeks, it couldn't get any worse, honestly. So definitely, if you lost Judkins, if I was still in the playoffs, if I was still in the championship game, he'd be my cheaper option, my $0 fab bid, and hopefully nobody
Yeah,
else
absolutely.
remembers or
Spend
saw.
$0 on Raheem Sanders. Just going to answer a couple of questions here. Jelly of the mouth. We're getting in the tight end position. So close. Let's see. Do I pick up Parker Washington and Alec Pierce and drop Reed and Coker? If Alec Pierce is out there, why not? Yeah, I would drop Reed. I'm not sure about dropping Coker yet. I know he had a poor week this week.
Yeah, Coker had a very uneventful week against Tampa Bay. They do get Tampa Bay. Well, the playoffs will be over by then, but they get Tampa Bay next week, which is nice. But this week, currently, they don't. I would keep Coker over Pierce.
Actually, I would take Parker and Pierce.
You would take Parker. Okay, well, let's. You are the Colts guy. You like Alex Pierce, and people like Parker Washington. I said it.
If Josh gets 3 of those, I kick him off. No, Alec Pierce 2 touchdowns last night.
Oh, he did. Full disclosure, I was running around the mall with my daughter, picking up presents till 9:30 at night.
Yeah,
and then
yeah, Alec Pierce had 2 touchdowns last night, and he finished as
good job, Alex Pierce.
Finished as wide receiver 5 last week. Parker Washington finished as wide receiver 4. I'd honestly roster both of them. And yeah, he wants to take options away from his opponents. I would rather give him Coker and Reed over Pierce and Washington.
Yeah, for sure.
Somebody dropped Ken Walker before game time, loaded team. Despite last week, CM as a landmine. Am I crazy? Rather playing Carter or Quorum. Opponent loaded at running back, so no need to block. So we're looking at Carter, Quorum, or Walker.
So same situation in my league, my home league. Somebody dropped Walker, and I couldn't pick him up this week to play him. If I could have, I would have. He's still out there to clear waivers tonight or tomorrow. So I'm in the same situation, or I would have been if I was in the championship game. So I'm going to answer this as if I was playing in this final. I'm sticking Quorum. That Ken Walker performance was awesome, 24-point-something points. We haven't seen that side of Ken Walker in quite a bit of time. Not saying he dominated the game.
Yards.
Yeah, but he did have a great game, and it shouldn't go unnoticed. But just his usage in the past really scares me. Against Atlanta and Indianapolis, he didn't even get 10 points combined in those last 2 weeks. Against the Rams, of course, he went nuts and scored a touchdown and had the 164 scrimmage yards. That's great and all. But if you look at his usage, he had 11 touches carries wise and 3 catches. That goes aligned with everything else. The only thing that changed was the yardage, so he broke up some plays and he scored a touchdown. That's not saying that he's not effective. What it's saying is he still got the same usage. It's just this week he popped. He gets 10, 11, 13 carries every single week. He gets 3 to 4 catches every single week, or at least targets every single week. And he hasn't been performing like this any week. Is this his season high? Yeah, it's week 16, and that's his season high. It's more of an outlier than the norm.
Definitely,
so I would leave him out there.
The only thing I will say, Panthers allow 8th most points against the running back position, so there's definitely room for him to score. Charbonnet also still exists too, though. So of the 3, I think Walker and Corum first, but if there's no reason to block, then it's fine. Moving on to the wide receivers. First up here is Parker Washington, who we have talked about on this show before. Let's talk about some wide receivers that are missing time. Rashee Rice still in concussion protocol. Amon-Ra St. Brown did not practice yesterday with a knee injury, and DK Metcalf suspended the last 2 games of the season. So there is room for wide receivers out there. Amon-Ra St. Brown probably on a championship roster. Rashee Rice might be on a championship roster. I don't know. Josh, how many rosters? 0 for
If you combine myself and Dirtbag Dave, we probably lost about 25 matchups with Rashee Rice this week.
Tough. So I guess if you're playing for 3rd place. So let's talk about Parker Washington. 26.5 points. Finished as wide receiver 3 last week. 24 over the last 3 with 17.4 points per game. He is still only rostered in 12.7% of leagues. There were some down weeks for Parker. He was injured for a little bit, but he's back.
Yeah,
back. Right, 26 points.
Yeah, he's back. 26.5 fantasy points. Did score that touchdown. 145 total yards. 10 catches. I'd be surprised if he got 10 catches.
Targets. 10 targets.
Oh, 10 targets. Oh my God. 6 catches. So whatever. That may be 6 catches. Big plays. Like, he gives you that ability for a big play. He's somebody I'd want to add if you're an underdog. Like, he's not going to give you a safe floor at all. His floor is probably under double digits. But he does give you the high upside. So if you need that big splash play, let's say you're the 6 seed or 5 seed and you kind of snuck in, yes, you'd want to play him to take out that opponent you're playing against. But his floor is scary to me. Definitely an add.
To me, he's a must add because of the opponent. Indy allows the 4th most points to the wide receiver position. They are a very easy sell. The Colts defense could not even stop running water last night. So he is going to eat that Colts defense. They have no secondary. Unless Sauce Gardner and Trevarius Ward all of a sudden make a comeback this season, start every wide receiver up against the Indianapolis Colts, including Brian Thomas Jr. Matt Collins is on my list next. He has a 1 p.m. game also against the New York Jets in New York. Wide receiver 49 over the last 3 weeks. Last week, he was wide receiver 24 with 13.9. Patriots offense is going. They still are trying to get up to that 1 seed. They need some wins. Matt Collins has been very good in cold weather games. Very good in cold weather games. And that's probably because he just shows up in literal pants. And that's it. Double-digit points since the bye week 2 weeks ago. He's had 17 targets over the last 2 weeks. Hasn't found the end zone, but still getting double-digit points. So he's getting the yardage. He's getting the receptions. Somebody that is worth a look to add if you need a deep flex spot. Another guy worth maybe adding is Josh Downs. He did finally find a rhythm with Phillip Rivers last week. My concern here is that, the Colts may shut Phillip Rivers down for the rest of the season. They still have it. They're not eliminated. They have to win every game, and the Texans have to lose every game for them to make the playoffs. Mind you, Houston and Indy play in week 18. So This could be a scenario where Josh Downs finally makes his break this season. 10 points and 11 points the last 2 weeks with Rivers. He's actually getting involved in this offense, whereas Daniel Jones did not find him nearly as much. Philip Rivers is getting the ball out to every wide receiver. The downplay for Downs here is that he's no longer a deep threat because they can't get the ball 45 plus yards down the field. So
yeah,
he's getting the work on the outside and finding the seams inside. So it does make it tough. Okay, we had some tight end questions here. First, TJ Hawkinson has a shoulder injury and did not practice yesterday. So there's a tight end. Plus, the tight end position is just bad anyway. So first up, Britton Strange, tight end 10 last week, 16 over the last 3 weeks. Since Britton Strange has been back, he has been pretty good. He did have a couple of bad weeks, 14 and 15. He had a couple of bad weeks. He's got Indy again, who he only scored 6.7 on 3 weeks ago, but that game was so out of hand that in a rainy game that they didn't really need Britton Strange. The Jaguars have a chance at the number 1 seed. They're going to still try to play hot and try to score as much as they can. They have an easy matchup. I think Britton Strange is somebody that you should roster. 38% of leagues do roster him right now.
Do not agree or disagree with that whatsoever. He's my favorite tight end out there right now.
Next up is AJ Barn. Why do we always like the Jacksonville Jaguars tight ends? It seems like
I don't. I didn't like Evan Ingram.
Oh, well, never mind. I do. AJ Barner, tight end 9 last week, 15 over the last 3, 15 points last week for the Seahawks, 17.9% rostered in leagues. He's going up against a very middle of the road team in points per game. He's worth a look out there. AJ Barner's been on this list a few times this season, and rightfully so, because he does well, then he's bad. Then he does well, then he's bad. Can we get a couple good weeks out of him? Will this be a turning point? Probably not.
Look, we've seen this before. I don't want to. This isn't a start show, but sit show. But if you're starting him, good luck. He's fun to watch. He doesn't perform the majority of the time. So just keep that in mind. If you want a guy that can score a touchdown, that's cool. But that's about what he's going to get you. How many games does he have over 50 yards this year? 2, maybe 3. He's played all 16 games up to date. No, he missed week 10. He missed. He got hurt. But other than that, like Sam Darnold's not going to support JSN and AJ Barner combined. So
and Rashid Shaheed and Cooper Kupp it's
just not that kind of offense.
Yeah. Next up on the list is Chigoziem Okonkwo, who Josh cannot pronounce. So I will say
neither can you.
Chigoziem Okonkwo. Good Lord. Tight end 5 last week, 14 over the last 3 weeks, 16.4. He has been decent. Again, the Titans offense has been getting better over the last couple of weeks, putting up a couple late season wins. Not somebody I'm rushing out to go get, but somebody worth rostering maybe. Maybe your opponent still needs tight ends. Everybody needs tight end, I feel like. Unless you have McBride, Bowers, like McBride and Kittle, that's really the only ones that I'm not taking out of starting lineups right now. And actually, Kittle got hurt last night, so that might change. Chig has gotten 14 targets over the last 2 weeks and has pulled in a touchdown. Worth a look if you're really struggling at the tight end position and you lost out on Britton Strange. Last one on the list.
Let's say worth a look. Oh, this guy. Taysom. No, come on.
Can't quit him. Yeah. We can't quit him, can we? Taysom
Hill started.
15 points last week, 6 targets.
I can't wait till he retires. I'm so over Taysom Hill. And I'm so over the people that start him in fantasy. I'm over it. That's all. That's my analysis on him. If you're gonna trust him, good luck. He has more points last week than he probably has all season long. Now
He does.
is that scheme? Yeah, scheme, whatever it may be. I can't stand this guy. But if you're starting him in your fantasy football championship game, well done. I'm not even there, so well done to you. But maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe I should follow your guys' word. I've
He's a
never
one of
started
mine.
Taysom Hill in one
I would
fantasy
let
matchup
somebody
in
else
my
take him.
life.
I would let somebody else take him.
Yeah.
That's the list. I don't have any cut players today. I could have cut players if you really want to talk about some people. But we don't have to talk about Justin Jefferson and Roma Dunze and all those guys again, or Egbuka. So let's answer any questions that we didn't get here. Let's see. If Rico Bucky and RJ Harvey, should I get Genty back last week?
Man, Chinty had a great game last week, but I can't bench Rico. I could bench Bucky. I'm not.
Could bench Bucky
Man.
for Genty.
Yeah, that's the question mark right there.
If Kittle doesn't play, do I start Juwan Johnson or AJ Barner? And should I start Drake May or Joe Burrow? I would start Juwan Johnson. Hopefully Kittle does play, but I would start Juwan Johnson. As far as Drake May or Joe Burrow goes, Burrow's got.
I'm starting. Honestly, I'm starting
Arizona.
Drake May in this situation.
Yeah.
I know they have Arizona, but Drake May is fighting for the #1 seed. They're not going to be slacking off. There's not going to be any moment where, oh man, Joe Burrow tweaked his whatever. We're just taking him out because this season doesn't matter. That's a possibility of people getting taken out of games early because the game just simply doesn't matter. I worry about that a lot. I know they're professional athletes and they get paid to do this job. But again, if there's some kind of concern with any kind of injury to Joe Burrow, they're going to take him out right away. Drake May, they're fighting for something.
They should, and if they don't, they need to fire Zach Taylor. There's my weekly comment about firing Zach Taylor. Game on Corum in the title game. Good thing I have 4 good wide receivers. Hold on, timeout. You got 2 good running backs too, man. Again, yeah. Corum could be a league winner. Gainwell could be a league winner this year.
Yep.
So,
oh, you frozen? Okay.
No, I'm good. I just stay in the same spot. Start Egbuka or Adonai Mitchell. This is where we are, Josh.
This is a trap. It's a trap. And Buka has been invisible. You can just toss him in the trash at this point. He definitely hit a rookie wall or something, whether it be Baker being bad or Mike Evans coming back or Jalen McMillan coming back, which nobody's talking about. They have too many cooks in that kitchen. The Jets are the total opposite. They don't have any cooks, and they don't even have a kitchen. And they're just homeless. And I don't really want a homeless person on my fantasy football team. No disrespect to AD Mitchell, but man, this is so tough. I would go with the person who's going to get targeted more often. It's probably going to be AD Mitchell. And Buka's not going to be involved. He's just not been involved. He's fallen off a cliff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's so bad to say that AD Mitchell's probably your start here. As an Eagles fan, I really have to start Pickens, Tracy Jr., and Wan'Dale in my fantasy championship.
I wouldn't start Wan'Dale. They don't even know how to throw the football. They don't even know how. They don't have pass plays in their playbook.
You're still salty about that. How many throws did Jackson Dart throw on Sunday? 13. Do you know how many of those went to Wan'Dale?
Probably like 2.
6.
I don't know. Oh, half.
Almost 50% of his targets went.
Yeah, I like Wan'Dale, but they're not gonna. What was that? Listen, I'm not getting worked up again. What was that?
You go from 36 pass attempts to 13 pass attempts.
The Vikings are so daunting. Like, who knew? The Vikings had 11 Hall of Famers on that defense. Who knew?
Jonathan said he's pretty sure he called it back a few weeks ago. Taysom Hill being the RB1 for the Saints. Is that where he got all of his points? I didn't even
he was carrying the football. It was super annoying.
So stupid. So stupid. Well, that's it for the waiver show, guys. Tomorrow we have our start sit showdown with Josh and I, the final start sit showdown of the season. It's tomorrow. I don't even know the players Josh picked. He texted me last night. No, I'm sorry. He texted me this morning. I didn't even look at him. Oh, he's trying to beat me on some of these. He's
Oh,
definitely.
we got some fun
baiting me on
ones.
somebody.
We got some
Yeah,
fun
you're
ones,
baiting me
people.
on
Be
some
here
of
at
these.
noon. Be here at noon tomorrow. We're gonna have some fun content. I'll be awake. I only got about 2 or 3 hours of sleep last night. I had to get
Josh
called
was
up.
out till 9:30 last night, guys.
Yeah,
I'm showing
yeah,
bed boxes.
it was miserable. Who stays
Like-
up that late? Psychopaths.
I did. We will be back tomorrow at noon for this start sit showdown. So definitely join us, where we will talk about, you guys have been here, so you know what the start sit showdown is. We will answer all your start sit questions starting at 12:30 p.m. Eastern tomorrow for your championship. Join us then. I don't know what the rest of the week looks like. I think we have a ranking show. This week is going to be weird, guys, because of the holidays. But Sunday, I know we will have a show for start sits as well. So,
and if you're not here tomorrow, it's understandable. It's Christmas Eve. There's things that to be done. Catch our replay if you want, or join our Discord. You can get instant access to us. I am off all day tomorrow. I don't go to real work, so we'll all be in the chat in the Discord. If you miss the show because you're running errands, wrapping presents, cleaning up the house, we get it, man. Just join our Discord, chat.fantasynowplus.com. You can find us everywhere. If you're needing rankings and maybe start sit like the same position, whether it be the running back position or wide receiver, check our rankings, fantasynowplus.com. That will be updated today before the waiver show, or before the showdown show.
The waiver show.
Yep. Before the showdown show. I stayed up late last night, 9:30. It was a killer
Josh
one.
No day it is.
It's miserable. I can't wait to go to sleep. But that being said, I'm gonna let the host take over his show again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, and don't forget our fantasy awards. The link is way at the top. I will drop it again here in the chat, so that we are asking for your opinions. Who do you think won? Who do you think was the best in fantasy football this year of the players? Who was the most consistent? Who was the biggest breakout? Who had the best draft value? Best rookie? Comeback player of the year? All of those could be your decisions. We want your opinions. The link is in the chat. So definitely let us know who you think
And
was the best.
Remember, fantasy analyst of the year.
It's not a question on there. But I respect the hustle of trying to
comment, hit other, and put Josh Kimmel under comeback player of the year.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.